It's Auntie Jessica. So great to see you. Yeah, you like how I looking? Nice and cutie, right? I actually had to put on like my sweater. It's my little hoodie kind of sweater in the office today. I didn't wait until I felt cold. As I arrived, I put it on. Which is a shame because the beauty in this shirt is the little sleeve. See? See how sometimes a simple thing could add so much to a little outfit? Suits my personality, right? Yeah. But I had a lovely day. How was your day? I actually I'm not gonna come and do any reading or anything. I came home. It worked out. I'm not having lessons like I was supposed to. I said, you know what? I came home. I have the house to myself for a little bit. I don't know for how long. Probably not too long. So I said I'm gonna just come on and chat a bit and check in with you and let you check in with me and so on. Got cinnamon here. Her belly's full, so she's happy. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a bit of my crochet and just chat. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any reading or anything. Let's see how long she keeps quiet for. Usually once her belly is full, the next thing is she wants to go outside. But the children are outside playing, so that might have her a bit hesitant. Yes, this is my crochet. Remember the last time I shared with you, I said how I've been crocheting and working on a blanket. Yeah, there's a blanket for mom. Do you like the color? I did the first one I did is a kind of nutmeg slash key kind of color. Yeah, I like it. And then I'm supposed to, I think I've made two so far. I made some pink flowers. Yeah, I'm going to make a couple more and then I will get them sewn on or crocheted onto the blanket and it's going to be really beautiful. So for this one now to do flowers or something to add on this, you can let me know what color you think will go good with this. I know like white could work, but I don't really want to do white. I want something that will give you a contrast, but I'm not sure as yet. I'll see what's available though. Yeah, something I find very relaxing. I love creating. I think the last time I was on here chatting, I had a nice person keeping me company, Carlos, and he was asking me what are some things that keep me grounded. Being creative is something that keeps me grounded. Yeah, I really like it a lot. So I'm just gonna, as I say, keep you company for a bit and let you keep me company as well. We can unwind and enjoy the day together. Being mindful that different people are watching, and for some people, the day is perhaps now starting while my day is ending. And a good day it was so far, and a good day it shall continue to be. I'm gonna need it light just now I can see. Yeah. So my day, as I said, I had a good day. Um, I find I normally like to talk. I don't hold the crochet needle like most people, but this works for me. I usually like to say that my days tend to have a theme, you know, that when I reflect, sometimes I don't even wait until the day is done to pick this up. As I'm going through the day, I can see it. And I think the theme, like the message that was coming through to me today was the importance of us giving each other grace, you know, being patient with each other, meeting people where they're at, having that understanding, pausing sometimes and appreciating that where you are on your journey is not necessarily where I am on mine. Yeah, those were the kind of things that were coming through to me today. I had a conversation with one of my workmates. You know, I've been sharing with you how my little corner there at work, my little cubicle tends to attract a lot of people. I guess they're drawn to my energy. I do love people. Yeah, I do love people, and Sometimes depending on how my day is flowing in terms of my work, even if I have a lot to do and I find I can still get it managed, or once I don't have like really tight timelines and so on, I would indulge with it and flow and recognize perhaps pausing and being there for people and just being that listening ear and interacting and so on might be the greater purpose for that day, you know? Yeah. So anyhow, one of my favorite workmates, she just came to show me today. She was asking about my mom. So then I'm not sure how the conversation went there, but I shared about mom. Then I shared about my daughter who went to spend some time with mom, and how that is such a beautiful thing to me that my daughter, who is going to be turning 24 later this year, actually desires to go and spend time with her grandmother. I don't have to be getting behind her like, well, you don't go and look for your granny or call granny. You haven't been to see granny for a long time. She would actually say, like, tomorrow I'm going to go down and spend some time with granny. Or like, today she had an appointment. She said, when my appointment is finished, I'm going to go and spend the rest of my time with granny. And she would take her laptop and they would be down there. Maybe they would watch like cooking shows and different things, you know. And granny, of course, would be reminiscing and sharing different things, and my daughter would actually be actively listening. Although we know sometimes it's like a story being told over and over and over again, but yeah, she would just be there for her. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing. Like the blessing goes both ways, you know. It's a blessing for my mother to know that she's seen and valued and not just chucked to one side because, you know, she's like, I guess people will call it the twilight of her years now. Mommy is 92, just turned 92 last month. She still has value, she still has purpose, you know. We still show that interest in her. And then on the other hand, it is such a blessing for my daughter to be able to still have her granny around, you know, and to be able to have granny there to impart her knowledge and her experience and to learn from her and to listen with her, because we all know how it is with grandparents and grandchildren. Things that my mother would be strict about when it comes to me. Not really. Very loving and patient, and she just adores her granddaughter. So it's a beautiful thing to behold. So then yeah, I was sharing with my workmate, like, you know, like sometimes if my daughter does things to annoy me, sometimes I have to pause and like look at things in the bigger scheme of things. Like she's not out there drinking or smoking or, as you would say, wilding about living a wild kind of life, and um she's a very responsible person. Even if sometimes she wants to go somewhere, she will come and like talk to us first, like, you know, is it okay if I do this? Or obviously she's of age, she wouldn't be like, well, if it is that you're not gonna allow me to have the car, I am going and that's it, and I'm gonna just find my own way or whatever. She still respects us. Yeah, and she would ask. And so let's come and share her as, but probably more so me because she's closer to me as mom. Ask my opinion on certain things or different things she's going through, her different little situations with her friends. She has a good little circle of friends as well. This is what's happening, and what do you think about this? And this is an idea I have, and this is what I would like to do. I, in turn, know she's of that age and of greater understanding. I would open up and share. You know me, I share my life pretty openly anyway. I would open up and share certain things. That's when it suddenly got a bit overcast. And so I probably need to turn on the light. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, so I would share openly as well, and we would reason with each other, and I would allow her to see that mommy is not perfect, you know, and I think she really appreciates that, and she will be giving me little advice. Like one of the things she tells me is, I need to know my boundaries. Although yes, I'm a very loving and caring person, don't just give of myself, put myself out there so much, you know. You have to do it, but still don't allow people to take advantage of you. That's one thing I've really learned from her. Yeah, she doesn't she really, as we say, she doesn't make sport when it comes to the kind of energy she keeps around her. She's very intentional about surrounding herself with persons who are interested in her growth, her well-being, and so on. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And then that discussion somehow led to me talking about persons like, I guess you could call it entrepreneurs, but basically persons, they're either self-employed or they have their own business and so on. And oh, sometimes, persons, they have their gifts. They're very gifted, they're very skilled in what they do. But then when you need them to actually be business-like and to be professional and to be able to communicate with you properly, that's found to be sadly lacking. Like sometimes you ask yourself, is it that I'm begging you, you know, I'm begging you to do business. I'm begging you to pay you money for you to do something for me or what it is. Yeah, that's not really as I would like it to be. So I shared two experiences with her. One was with regard to something I'm trying to get done with my car. Now basically I decided I'm gonna go with someone else, although the original person can do it at a cheaper rate, you would say. Not the best in terms of being business-like, and I don't need the stress. So yeah, I'm exploring another option. And then the next thing, I'm gonna turn on the light. Hold on. Then the next thing I shared was this lady. She, I guess you could say she's an ace. I don't wanna bite my tongue. She has a spa. Yeah. I don't go to her spa originally, but yeah, I was exploring going, and then I saw something on her page where apparently someone came to her to get a pedicure. And she went home of her really, she had it like she was in a car and she's so tired and so winded. So when I first clicked like to watch the video, I thought it's that like she had a very tiring day. Sometimes you have like these days, especially when you're in this line of work, that you might get a lot of customers, or one person comes late and then it affects everything else. You don't get a proper break and so on. But she was going at length and she said she did this pedicure on this lady. The lady didn't want a before and after picture taken. So she didn't do the photo. But she had to just come online to let us know as women the importance of taking care of ourselves. And if we can pay for this and we can pay for that, certainly we can, do a better job at seeing after ourselves. And she went in full detail all about the condition of this lady's feet, how they look, how they smell, how they were cracked. She even said like cracked like yams and different things like that. I was so hurt. I was so hurt for this lady because I said surely, probably the lady had left the appointment, give her like the before and after feeling very good. And then suppose now she had to go on this page and see this thing, she will be very hurt. And I said to myself, no way, this person's going to be doing any kind of service and so on for me. Because you can't just get and be speaking and telling people, yes, you got to take care of yourself. We all know that. But as I say, you have to be able to, oh, me and the eyes. Hello, 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 Carbonari. I like that name. How are you? It's nice meeting you. And how is your day going? Where are you from? Share and tell me anything you would like to tell me. I'm just here talking. I'm keeping you company. I'm sharing about my day. And you could tell me anything you'd like to. So as I started off saying, my days normally have a theme. Like I find I would get experiences and like there's a particular lesson that's coming at me throughout my day. So today's lesson was the importance of showing grace to persons. Yeah, so I felt like that whole situation could have been handled so much better. Like you could have just loved on that person, listen to them, talk to them like in a gentle way, and just make them feel like the most special person in the world. Because it's okay to talk about persons. You see persons going along. Even for myself, like I drive a car, I try to have myself looking decent and so on when I'm dressed. And right now I'm going along, I have like $4 in my purse. It doesn't mean that the only money I have is $4, but I'm just using that as an example. You can't judge people by how you see them going. You don't know what it is they have dealing with, you know? So that was pretty disappointing to me. Yeah. Um that was probably it in terms of the conversations and thing for today. No, another conversation now in terms of like the work I'm getting done in my home. Um, another opportunity for me to grow in patience. My. Why have you all? Hi. I was hoping you would come back on because I saw this is my. You know, I forgot your name. Is it Terry? And I don't want to call the wrong name. Yeah, Auntie has been missing you, and Auntie has been seeing different things about road tennis and always thinking about you and wondering how you're getting on. Tell me, how's everything? Are you taking part in inter-school sports, your school sports? How's the road tennis? Tell me everything. Yeah, the lives. Auntie hasn't been doing the lives in a long time. The two older boys who you would have seen Auntie doing lives with, my sweet Joshua. Joshua's doing really well in school right now, so Joshua doesn't really need to be coming to Auntie for lessons. Remember, Joshua used to come from far, from St. Lucie to where Auntie is in St. Thomas, right? So right now we're just trying to monitor and make sure Joshua could maintain himself, and Joshua doesn't need to be coming here physically and doing lessons. I know that you will miss your Joshua. And the other person, he's not coming to lessons anymore. Auntie decided to mostly focus on doing reading lessons. That would be my Mary Bear, and Mary Bear is very strong in reading, right? Mary Bear would have started reading with Auntie from when he was a little boy, maybe 4 years old, maybe like 4 yet, and come up. Yeah, so Mary doesn't need the reading lessons. So right now, Auntie does lessons with little Rosaria. Rosaria just turned 4. Rosaria comes on Saturdays sometimes, so it's a bit challenging for Auntie to be handling life and then dealing with 4-year-old Rosario who has me all about. But maybe I'll try next time. I'm not promising you I'll try. And then I have a young adult who comes. That's such a blessing and does meetings during the week. Yeah. And I wouldn't share her and go live because, she's a bit shy about that. And I guess it's a bit embarrassing sometimes too. It's a kind of sensitive thing. Yeah. And people think, well, I'm a grown adult and here I am doing reading lessons. Maybe somebody will laugh at me, but really you shouldn't be laughing because that is something to be so proud about because you're looking to do something about yourself, to improve yourself and to grow. Right? So yeah. But I'm really happy to see you though, okay? So anytime you can come in, Auntie tries to come on Tuesday evenings for sure. That's one of my free days. And if I don't have lessons with the young lady on Thursdays, I try to come on Thursdays too. But it will just be me. So I don't know if you want to come just to chat with me, but that is where it's at right now. So today I'm not teaching a lesson. I'm just here talking about my day and sharing, and you can tell me anything you want as well. Okay? Right. So once again, I'm back on this theme about the importance of being patient with persons and giving them grace and so on. So the next example I was using is the work I'm having done on my home. And it has been an opportunity for me to try to be patient. And Auntie never thought that she was somebody that was very patient. But I've grown a lot in my patience. Yeah, so we're plodding along slowly but surely. We're getting on the last lap now, trying to finish up the tiling. And then we can move on to some other things. And then it bothers me very much that you can look and see like the water stains in the roof. I need to have the roof replaced. But I have to get to the point with the renovations that I could remove, like where you can see the orange sheet there hiding the window for privacy, where I can remove that. Basically, that's what's separating the old house, the original house, from the renovated part of the house. You have to be able to remove that, and then I could deal with the roof. So I say I have all the plans, and God has His own good plans. And sometimes I feel like things are not really going as quickly as I could like. I lose sight of how far I have come, and it gets frustrating. But that is always an opportunity to extend grace as well, whether to the persons involved in doing the work. Sometimes it has to do with the persons, the places we have to get material from, so many different factors, but it's going to all come together in God's perfect way, in His perfect timing. So that's a great example of me needing to extend grace. Yeah. Um, Another area, especially for people now, let's say in the workplace or doing any kind of work, even in terms of school work, we have to learn to understand the, as I always say, everyone is on their own journey. So suppose even you are trying to teach something or you're trying to work with someone, you have to like show someone something on the job, or you have expectations of someone, and maybe it's something that you can grasp really quickly. Like today, I had a conversation with another workmate. Now she's studying at university. She shared this with me recently. If you watched the last live, you would have seen where I said that one of the things I have felt led to do this year is to start like this positivity corner, my own gentle way of shaking the world, right? At my workplace with a little bulletin board. And each month, or ever so often, I changed it. So in January, we started with, like, what's your word? Give a word of encouragement to everybody for a year. That was really lovely. Last month, we did, like, what I like about you. So that you would pick someone and say what you like about them. Someone picked me and said they never see me angry. I'm very calm, and um, my humility, yes, I do have that humility, very down to earth kind of person. But they never see me calm. Probably I bring over myself that way mostly at work. I do have my moments. The baby tantrums are very few and far in between. Progress for Auntie. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah. But I do feel mostly calm and peaceful for the most part. Once again, growth. So remember, when we see those areas of growth, even if they're small things, and we can actually appreciate that other persons are seeing it. Sometimes they can't perceive it as growth because they only know you as that way. But like for me, that I know where I came from in terms of being that calm, kind of peaceful kind of person, that's something for me to celebrate and cheer. That's a Caribbean accent for a chance at how much money, who wants to be a millionaire? Tell me where it's from. Tell me where you think I'm from. It's not Jamaica. All right. Tell me where you think it's from. Let's see. I have a heavy South Detroit accent. Okay. Let me bring you closer to me. Hello, Tony. Hello. Is it Sean or Shawnee? It's not Trinidad. People make that mistake. Very close to Trinidad. The place of the flying fish. Let me see if that will help you. But that part about South Detroit, I don't know about Detroit, but persons tell me that I speak in this kind of sing song kind of way, this kind of drawling, like I drag my words, like it does sound southern. I don't know, but I love the way I speak. Let me give you a little joke. There was a time that, from time to time, right, I have to go away. I don't share these things too much. Yes, I'm very humble. Represent my country like at international conferences and so on. I was at this conference and this gentleman came up to me and he said, he was Southern. I just love to hear you talk. And here I was having a moment puffing up my chest, feeling very proud and so on, like very accomplished. I said, well, why, thank you. Because I'm thinking, like, what I'm saying is making so much sense, which I would like to think it makes sense. Making so much sense and, have everybody at all. He said, it's just that darn accent of yours. He was fascinated with the intonation of my voice. Maybe he actually listened to the content of what I was saying. I don't know. But he said it's just the accent. He just loves to hear. I get it a lot. But I'm from Barbados, so I won't keep you guessing all the time. Barbados. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Even my brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, I'm a very strong Caribbean person. They always, tease me and they tell me, I love to hear how you talk, Jessica. You talk like you're singing. Yeah, it's one of the things I love about myself. You are from Jamaica. It's not Jamaica, Barbados. Can you sing gospel music? I can try. Your voice, 50 Cent. Okay, well, you tell me a song you would like me to sing for you, and I would try. You like gospel music? Tell me, I don't know. Tell me one of your favorite songs. Yeah, I'll try singing for you. I might even beat my drum. I have my drum down here. Yeah. And you tell me, nobody's telling me where they are from. They're asking where I'm from. So mine is Barbados. Y'all answer back and tell me no where y'all are from. Yeah. Did I lose my chain of thought? Oh, the last thing I was on, I was saying, I was talking to another workmate today now. So for those who are now coming in, I'm sharing about my day. And I said that my days normally have like a theme. So the theme that was running through, like the theme for today was like the importance of having grace and appreciating like persons are at different points in their journey and so on. I'm from the UK. Okay. What part of the UK? I go to London from time to time. Is it still very cold? I have a friend there and he was telling me at one point it was raining every day, like for almost 2 weeks straight. I started to get some flooding out there. Yeah. um, yeah, the cold London. You know, in the Caribbean, we're accustomed to very highly seasoned food. So sometimes it's a bit of a culture shock to go to London, but I enjoy London. Was my favorite, and you're asking about what's my favorite type of food. I like a good soup. Yeah, I like soup. You know, in the Caribbean, when we talk about soup, it's not like just this little, mostly liquid kind of thing. Maybe it is. I don't know if it's more like what y'all would call a broth. But when we talk about soup, we're talking about soup that has in like pumpkin and potato and yam and what we call dumplings. And it's a hearty meal. Yeah, I love me a good soup. I like to use a lot of provisions as well. I like to find creative ways to cook healthy food, to be honest with you. Yeah. I do like different pies, like savory pies and things like that. What about you? Tell me what you enjoy. I'm not much of a pasta person. I would use it, like my daughter, she likes to cook that kind of thing. So I would use it like to be encouraging her, but yeah, I'm not much of a pasta person. You describe yourself as a good chef in the kitchen. I would like to think so. I would like to think that I try different things. What about you? You seem to be into cooking. You tell me what you like to eat and what you like to cook. Yeah. Um, yeah, I like to bake too. Yeah, I like baking as well. Can I sing? I still waiting for you to give me a song that you want me to sing for you. If I'm a good chef in the kitchen. You like spicy food? As I told you, once you're dealing with people from the Caribbean, spicy and highly seasoned. Even some people might say that we over season the food. Because like if we're gonna cook chicken or fish or whatever, we spend a lot of time marinating it and then leaving it in the seasoning before even cooking it. You know? Yeah. Very, very flavorful food in the Caribbean. That's how it goes. You like homemade burgers? Okay. Nice. Can I dance like salsa? I can dance salsa. Yeah. In the Caribbean, I guess you have different kinds of music. In Barbados, we call it walking up, which is I don't know if you would say is how we come from what we brought over from Africa, but very sensual. I guess close to what America would call twerking, but it's not really twerking. To me, twerking is something different from it, very rhythmic, like with your hips and so on. Yeah. Salsa, yes, I could do that, but that's not something that's like the national dance bar. That's more like Latin America and that kind of thing. But I love to dance. I love calypso, that's like soca music. I love reggae. I love jazz. Yeah. I like different kinds of music, but those are some things that I find really relaxing. Afrobeat too. Yeah. You like your homemade burgers. It's nice getting to know you. So I was chatting with this young lady at work. Right, because I share that I have the bulletin board there in the positive corner. So one of the things now, the latest thing I have put there is what I am working on or what are we working on. So for mine, I put like this auditing course I'm doing. And that was intentional because I started that like it's been a couple of years now. It's a self-paced kind of thing, you know. I started it and then my attention gets put in other things. But yeah, I've been really more consistent with it. And I'm determined, I believe that I'm going to finish that like before the middle of the year. Yeah. Be rooting for me, be rooting for me, be rooting for me. I can do it. And then some persons came and they put like more general things like working on getting closer to God, keeping positive, which is all fine. But I really want in the whole exercise like to get more specific things so that then we could check in on each other, hold each other accountable, be an encouragement to each other, and so on. We can encourage each other in those bigger things too, but I think you understand me. It's not quite the same. If I could travel back in time and meet any famous, you ask me some deep questions, any famous person, who would it be? Well, it might not be the answer that you expect, but it's not necessarily a famous person, but something I did for my birthday. My birthday is in October, not my birthday last year, probably the one before. Is I trace my ancestry, right? Um, it's just something I always wanted to do. I really was doing it more so like to find out if I'm this percent from Nigeria, this percent from whatever. So I think it worked out as mostly Nigeria. Then it came to Ghana, other countries. And then it was like German was like up in the teens. That's from my mother's side, which isn't surprising because like the whole history, you know, most of us are mixed, right? Just some you can tell more than others, but most of us are mixed. Yeah, that was pretty fascinating. So that was one side finding out this percentage this percentage that. But then a friend of mine actually helped me and we were able like to go through like different records. Like you will find a baptism certificate of this person, a marriage certificate, and go back. And I traced my ancestry to someone who was a slave on a plantation here in Barbados. Right? When I did like the maths, he would have spent some of his time as a slave and then maybe like in his early 20s or 30s when emancipation came. Yeah, he would have become free. So sometimes like when I'm going through different challenging things, his name was Maki. And even how it was recorded, it said Maki, the mother of Mary, who would have spent her entire life as a slave. But they had like 3 or 4 persons maybe named as Mary because you know how it went is that when persons were born, they were just given like English names or probably names of family members of their owners or whatever. So then they can't pinpoint which Mary it was, right? But sometimes when I'm going through different challenging things, I'm like, girl, remember that you're strong. You're no ordinary person. You're the great granddaughter of Maki, who was a slave on this plantation and that kind of thing. So I know that's probably not the kind of answer you were looking for or expecting. But it's not necessarily a famous person because it's a person everybody knows. But it's like a real big deal to me. Right? So I think that would be beautiful. I don't really want to go back and experience being a slave, but you understand. That's a beautiful thing. Tell me, you asking me all the questions. You would like to meet my. I thought about him and the answer to, yeah. Is there anything about your past that I would change? Let me see. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. You rock, Cosette. Washington State for life. I hope I pronounced it right. Yeah. I would like to meet Malcolm. Yes. Yeah. He was one of the first persons that came to my mind as well. Malcolm. Yeah. If I would go back, anything I would change about my life, I think losing my father. I lost my dad when I was 7. Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing. And I lost my dad early, didn't really grieve. Look at Auntie here opening up. Though as I said, I live quite openly. Um, I'd mother say I really grieve for my father as a 7-year-old because from very young, for whatever reason, I always had this thing. I have to be strong for my mother. I have to imagine that at 7 years old, I have to look out for my mom. I have to look out for my mom. And you know what? Then COVID came and we were forced to be still. And all of a sudden, I found myself like going through this process, and like, yeah, it actually had affected me physically too, like with my gut health and so. Actually, going through this thing like mourning for my father, and I started I write poetry, but that's something I had neglected for a long time. I started writing poetry. I wrote the song, and I did different things. I wrote things to him. I remember I went through this process. I wrote things, and then I think I like tore it up like with intention and put it in my candle, or I put it something and I burn it, as a release. Yeah. And definitely that's something I would change. But I like to think my father's really, in fact, I know my father's really proud of me. Yeah. I have very tender, very beautiful memories of my father. I remember like he would come home because my father had me like later in life too. Both of them. My mom had me, she was 41. Because you remember I shared, I said mom just turned 92. I just turned 50. I know I have that youthful spirit. I just turned 50 in October. I don't know if dad was maybe like 60 or something. Anyhow, dad was, as I said, he had me older in life. I was like the apple of his eye, he would come home and he would be like patting on his shirt pocket there. And he would lift me up and be prancing about and acting all silly. And he would have like some kind of treat, like some snack or something that I like in his shirt pocket, you know? And just literally sharing with you now, like a picture like the glint in his eye and the beautiful smile on his face. Yeah, that's definitely one thing I would change. Thank you so much for your sympathy. I would describe myself as a controversial the game. Plus, I have no idea what that is, Tyler. Okay, a controversial person. I guess that's the word you could use. I'm a very direct person. I'm a very think outside of the box kind of person. I'm a very kind of is it today or yesterday was having yesterday was having a conversation with someone. They say, yeah, you're someone that you do what you want. Yeah. And I think I have that personality. I have a very strong personality, so yes, very strong willed, right? That's a big part of my personality. But then it's like you reach a certain stage now. So I'm at a stage now, I'm not forcing anything in my life. If it doesn't feel right, even if it's something I planned and I feel like my spirit doesn't take to that, no, I feel like I'm more doing this out of obligation or something I don't really want to do that. I'm not doing it. Yeah. So then that's something you could apply to different areas as well. Maybe like I'm in a group and everybody's like this curtain here, this is blue. And I look at it and I think it's green. I'm not gonna go along and say that it's blue. Yeah. So some people do see me as controversial. And I even always say that, like, suppose I'm in a meeting or in a room or something, and someone's being disrespectful. If it's to me, I will speak up. And even if it's to someone else and I'm in the room, I'm not a person that could just sit there and, take that and no. So maybe that's why I get shielded and I don't end up being in certain rooms because no. Yeah. Who or what inspires me? in life. What inspires me in life? Very much my daughter. Yeah, my daughter. She has some challenges, I suppose, in terms of her learning. A very spirited child, and she inspires me a lot in terms of being on this journey where I teach children, whether it is to read or teaching them in general, and mentoring, just making children feeling safe, feel understood, being able to recognize and perceive their greatness, and to understand that each person has their gifts. Each person's on their own journey. There goes the cat. I'm going to go and put her outside. Let me go and put the cat outside. Yeah, my daughter, right, as I said, my daughter very much because of what I just shared. And I always remember when she first went to secondary school, like at age 12, and the guidance counselor gave them like a kind of icebreaker kind of assignment. The same kind, some of the things they're asking me now actually was someone that inspires you, someone who's always there for you, how you would describe yourself, blah, blah. And then one of the questions was, what is something that no one could ever take from you? And her answer was, my dreams. Yeah, I always remember that. hmm I could also say my grandmother. Well, obviously my mother too, but I'm going to hone in on my grandmother because my grandmother, I don't know how it is for you, but back in the day, when there was no TV and different things to be occupying the older folk, they tend to have a lot of children. So my family is very big. My grandmother had like probably like 13 of them. And then out of them, the majority of them went on to have like maybe 5 or 6 or 7 children and on and on. So my family is really big. Yeah, so my grandmother now was young, like mid-30s or whatever age, because it's like one child is born and soon after you're pregnant again, one after the other, fast like that. And then her husband drowned. And she never went and like got in another relationship or anything. She just raised all of them single-handedly. And she did so many things. She was like the community midwife. She used to garden, which is something I have a very strong love for. Gardening, right? I'm very grounded and I love nature. She used to garden. She would make something we call in Barbados pudding and sauce. You could go and Google it, or I will tell you about it too. She used to make that. She used to keep a shop. She would like go on a donkey and cart, donkey cart, and go far out from where she lives, like to the plantations or fields or whatever, and get like different things, potatoes and different things, and then come back and sell them. She would do a lot of different things, very entrepreneurial kind of person, very independent person, obviously a very strong person. But she didn't care too much for the house and housework and that kind of thing. Her real heart desire was being out there in the field. So I I identify with her very much with that kind of thing, that resilient spirit, you know. When I talk about her, I'm like, she was probably the greatest economist I know. Yeah, those are two people that inspire me. Things in life that I refuse to compromise on. Things I refuse to compromise on. But I don't put up on being disrespected. That's definitely one. I think any kind of abuse, right? Physical, emotional, mental, and so on. Those are two things that come to mind. Like I use like the workplace for an example. I usually say that I'm pretty easygoing, but I don't compromise on my wellness. That's a big one. Yeah. Like say even like in terms of the workspace, I always say I want to be workspace, or even like if I have to travel, like where you go to stay and different things like that. I like to be somewhere that I feel is clean, I feel safe, and there's nothing like affecting my wellness. I don't put up with things that compromise. I safeguard my wellness a lot. Yeah. And as I share with you, I'm very grounded in nature, and I tend to have a very holistic approach to things as well, especially with my health. Like right now, I had like my sinuses were flaring up. That hasn't happened in a long time, but it was because I was kind of deviating from my diet. It's a seasonal thing. Like at this time of the year when the winds are very high and we get like we call it the Sahara dust because it's dust that comes from the Sahara Desert, believe it or not. And obviously then it affects people like with your asthma, your allergies, different things like that. And I try not to, I'm not a person, I don't run and like take medication. I try to like detox my body, listen to my body. I'm very attuned, yeah, to my body. So my wellness, that's a big one that's up there. Mm-hmm. Jesus loves you. Thank you, Elijah. Let me sing Jesus Loves Me for you. I do know that. Repent and turn to Him. Handling. I have no idea what that means, but hey, Richard, it's great to see you. Great to meet you. Thank you to be here for being here. Yeah, young people trying to make progress in life. Don't give up and be true to yourself. And when I say be true to yourself, come to know yourself, what you're passionate about. You got to be able to believe in yourself. And the bottom line is to be able to believe in yourself, you got to take the time to get to know yourself, learn yourself, and understand yourself, right? So there's a big value in like formal education and learning, I don't want to use usual doctor, lawyer kind of examples. Suppose you want to go, you say you want to be a mechanic, right? So there's a lot of value then in coming to understand the car, the different parts to the car. This is how this thing works with the next thing. If I'm getting this noise or this thing is happening, it means it might be this problem. All those different things, there's value in that. But more important than that, you have to be able to understand yourself, to understand how you react to things, to understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, how you're liable to, be affected by this thing. And the next thing, what's your purpose, what drives you, and those kind of things. So I think first and foremost, come to understand yourself. Yeah. Be determined. And I know it's like the usual thing to say, don't give up. But sometimes there's strength in giving up too. And when I say in giving up, sometimes it takes like greater courage. You have to understand that you might be on a path and it's not working out for you. You got to be able to recognize when it's time to give up on that. And now I'm talking about career, I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about whatever. You got to be able to have that strength and that courage and that self-worth to understand when something is not working out for you. And you have to give up on that and pursue what is really for you. Or sometimes even it's even greater courage to be able to be still and ask God to help you to discern what it is for you, and just trust. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You don't know if you're Trinidad. Richard, you think that I'm Trinidadian? I don't know if I have family in Trinidad, but Richard, as I said, I consider myself to be a Caribbean person. There's a song, the Caribbean man make the same trip on the same ship, right? So I very much consider myself to be a Caribbean person. So it's fine if you see me as Trinidadian. Do you have family in Trinidad or anything? Yeah, that's fine. Travel to and oh Richard said you would like to go. Oh Richard, you like Seafood. But anyone could answer, we getting to know each other. Anybody can answer. Japan for the seafood. I find a lot of people are interested in going to Japan now. Yeah, a lot of people. I think I even saw something with the group tour going there. hmm One of the places that I always wanted to visit was actually Panama. And right now it's a big thing because we have airlines now that actually go direct from Barbados to Panama. Everybody goes to Panama to shop and so on. But before, the whole world, everybody wanted to go to Panama. That was one of my places because my father was born in Panama. I don't know if you might not know. Well, you might know about the Panama Canal. And historically, a lot of people went from Barbados and probably some other Caribbean countries, left here and went to actually build that Panama Canal, right? So most likely that's how my father came to be born there. And I always had it that. So I say, Panama, the land of my ancestors. That's a place that immediately jumps out to me. And I'm gonna realize that dream really soon. I'm not gonna tell. I'm gonna tell you after it happens. Yeah, but really soon I'm gonna be going there and somewhere else, and I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. Yeah, but I'll just leave it at that. At Panama. Yeah, you said Japan. That's nice. I know I'm gonna reach Africa as well. I don't know which country we're exactly in Africa, but yeah, that's gonna be a big deal for me for my feet to actually touch African soil. That's gonna be a really big deal. I don't know how it's gonna unfold. I don't even need to know how it's gonna unfold, but I know like in the deepest part of my heart, I know that's gonna happen. Yeah. It's gonna be a beautiful day, a beautiful day, a beautiful day. It's been nice interviewing me. Yeah. Yeah, it's been nice being interviewed. You answer really thought provoking, some meaningful questions. Jesus loves me. I should go and get the guitar. Let me beat the drum. I can actually play as in play the guitar. I just strum it. See, I have my own African drum. Yeah, shout out to the store that helped me with the African drum. And I went to buy it. And I said, remember, Jessica, you're in a season of boldness. And I told the owner I'm using this drum to help children with their learning because everything we do in life has rhythm, has rhythm, has rhythm, rhythm in your breathing, everything. Walking, whatever you do, right, has rhythm. So I just knew intuitively that that would help them, and it does. So let me sing for you. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. All right, I hope that was a blessing to you. It's been a blessing to me. I didn't even expect that I would be like interview. You made me feel like the famous person, but not really. It's just a beautiful thing to be able to just come and be able to commune together, reason together, get to know each other. Yeah. Maybe I'll get to see you another time. Maybe I won't. But it's really been a blessing. Just sharing and chatting and so with each other. I'll probably stay on for a few more minutes. That's fine. Yeah. It's really nice. All right, lady. Not sure why you couldn't just answer the Trini. I answered the Trini question. I thought that I answered the Trini question. Richard, now you're telling us your whole origin. I said I'm not from Trinidad. I don't know if I have family from Trinidad. All right, Richard, take it easy. Richard, take it easy. Take it easy. All right. I don't know if I have family in Trinidad. I have many friends there, To my knowledge, I don't have family in Trinidad. All right. All right, Richard. Richard, God, just singing thank you. And may Jesus be with you too. He's always with me. Yeah. I pray he will be with you always. His joy and his peace, that he may surround you with his peace. Yeah. I like that you're a thinker. And as I said, asking very meaningful questions and so on. I could see that. Yeah. You have that kind of deep understanding, which is a beautiful thing. So you take care and you be good. Hello. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Richard telling me about the training question. Broken Spirit, how are you? It's nice to see you. Richard say telling him my whole origin. That tickled me, Richard. Anyhow, Richard, maybe if you've left already, you'll go back and you'll see. That let me say one last time for you, Richard. I was not born in Trinidad and Tobago. I do not know if I have any family in Trinidad and Tobago. To my knowledge, I do not. All right. I have many friends there. It's a beautiful place and I love it. But as far as I know, I'm not from there. I don't have family there. What about you, Richard? Do you have any family there? Where are you from? Yeah, Broken, how are you today? How was your day? You want to tell me where you're from? Do you want to tell me anything? And before, let me even talk back now to what I was talking about before I started that interview with my beautiful friend there. I was sharing about my workmate, where she had shared with me that she's studying at university. And she said it's really rough because she doesn't know if it's like how the teacher is bringing over this. I'm here doing my crochet, very creative person, right? If it's because how the teacher is bringing over the subject or not. But she finds she's not really grasping it. And her other classmates are like in the same position too. Like if they're supposed to be like moving on to module 8 or something, she's now trying to understand module 1, which is like a really big deal. But yeah. I told her, well, obviously that's a discussion they need to have with the teacher, which I think they're going to do or have done. And I just encourage her as best I can. And I'm going to make a point to do that and be an encourager to her. So that's another example of us being at different points in our journey. Some of us will grasp things really quickly, and some of us need for people to simplify things more. Yeah. And some of us need to like go over things a lot more to be able to understand, and that's perfectly fine. Even aside from formal schooling, even different lessons and so on that we learn in life, right? Some of us end up having the same things repeated because, yeah, God needs to show us those things over and over until we finally grasp the lesson, what it is you're supposed to learn. Yeah. I want to give a special shout out to a beautiful young lady. She probably is not even going to watch this. Her name is Shamira. And I believe, I haven't gone in. Oh, excuse me, one of the things, one of my interests is, as I said, I'm very much into wellness. So my daughter, she's athletic. And I'm a very involved mom, so I would never go along and like just be sitting and so I would be like, she's doing her own thing. Let me get out there and go and do some walking. Let me go and have my own gym time. And so on too. Right? Hey, Tom Prince, where you at? But everybody asking me. This seems to be the new theme of the day. Yes, I know Jesus. I do. I do. You want to share with me about Jesus? I realized there's another theme. So I was just going to start singing a song that was on my heart too. Right. So with the athletic club, I would go along, have gym time with the athletes and different things. And this beautiful girl, Shamira, I think today she qualified in javelin. Shamira, Auntie loves you, and he's so proud of you to go and represent Barbados at Carifta, which is like a regional competition, track and field for all the Caribbean athletes. It's going to be in Grenada this year. Yeah. And I found that out, and the song that was in my spirit. Should I beat my drum? Hallelujah, Jesus is alive. I Scottish first. One person said I sound like I'm from Southern Detroit. No, you're asking if I'm Scottish, but listen, I am from Barbados in the Caribbean, or we say West Indies. But historically, there's some strong connection between the Scottish and Barbados. So probably, the way we speak, you get that strong, some kind of accent, that kind of. Research it. There's a strong connection. I find that most amusing, but it's a valid question. And oh dear, there's this festival. It's not Gaelic. There's this annual festival that you used to get though, right? That you would get people, they will come down in like the kilts and so on and be playing the bagpipes and have different events. Yeah. A Scottish festival, but that's not what you used to call it. I am thinking it's the Gaelic festival like that. I have to research it. I'm sorry, forgive me, but yeah. We even have a place in Barbados called the Scotland District, which is like along our east coast. Very beautiful, very picturesque. If you know about Barbados, Barbados is very much a tourist destination. So you can imagine like along what you will call the west coast now. A lot of fancy hotels and the beaches and all the restaurants. Obviously everything you can call that the tourist belt. But on the east coast now, rugged and untouched and just mesmerizing. It's beautiful, untouched, raw, unfiltered beauty. Like someplace I would be drawn to because I said that I very much love nature and that kind of thing is very soothing to my spirit. And part of that is the Scotland District. You did it. I sound Scottish. Well, you must look it up. The connection between Scotland and Barbados. Okay? Look it up. Yeah. Or if I find anything, I might come back to this live after and put it in the comments. But I actually take that as a compliment. That's beautiful. And I do have Scottish roots. I shared just a bit ago that I researched my roots. Yeah, Scotland is in there for sure. That's lovely. Hallelujah, Jesus is alive. Death has lost its something, sorry, and the grave has been denied. Jesus reigns forever. He is risen. He is risen. He's the Alpha and Omega. The first and last is he. I don't know all the words. Dum da la 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 la, and the perfect victory. Jesus reigns forever. He is risen. He is risen. Yeah, anyhow, for whatever reason, that song just birthed in my spirit. Yeah, when I found that out. And a big part of that is because you can imagine like qualifying to represent your country. It's so much a journey. Not many people see the journey, they see the finished product, But yeah, all those times, imagine when you don't feel it, turn up for practice, Suppose sometimes you don't even get to eat and drink as you should, and you still go alone. Sometimes you might not have like the correct uniform. You have different challenges. I'm keeping it real, and you persevere and it just felt on my heart really. Yes, I'm going to be celebrated. So happy. Enjoy the rest of your. Oh, you're from Edinburgh. Yeah, Scotland was one of the places I wanted to visit too, although I don't know about me and the cold. I'll have to see. Maybe one of these times I'll arrange that when I come to London, I can come over to Scotland and visit. Yeah. I travel to London quite frequently on business. Yeah. So I'll see. You can tell me something that somewhere you think I should visit when I make it to Scotland. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your night too, Chemistry SS. It's really been a pleasure. The real Toji Fushiguru. Hello, I hope I pronounced your name right. How are you doing? How was your day? It's so nice meeting you. It's so nice chatting with you. Where are you saying hello from? And then we have Mr. Auntie with his 50-year-old eyes. Habitual 3. The notification bell. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying hello. I'm just going to keep chatting until probably the others. You did not a lot of people. Did not a lot of people do. I don't know what that's supposed to be about. Wow. Positive thoughts, words, and actions create positive feelings. Yes, I agree. I agree, and he's always positive over here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You bring any positive energy to me? You bring it then. Your positivity and my positivity, we can't go around. Right? Very positive, yeah. I'm very happy to have you over here with your positivity, okay? Yeah. La 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 la. I've been talking. I haven't really been doing the crochet. I've probably done about 4 stitches since I started talking. Yeah. I feel very happy and relaxed. I'm really enjoying the time with you. And you were born in, but you live in Korea. Okay. Okay. That's really nice. It's so nice to meet you. I've never been to Japan or Korea. Yeah, I haven't. It took me a long time to get where I am. Better late than never. Okay. Yes, I agree with you. It's never too late. Yeah. And I'm sure you can appreciate the journey, for what it was. Hello, Auntie. Wishing you peace and love. I'm wishing you peace and love as well. God's richest blessings. Japan and Korea. Yeah, you can chat with each other. It's a nice positive space. Yeah. That's so nice. So tell me something. Tell me something about Japan or something about Korea. Tell me something you like. You like about it. I know Japan is a very organized place. Very disciplined. Right? Yeah. Especially in terms of education. Obviously, education is one of my things. So, yeah, I do like that. And they just put a lot of emphasis on teaching children responsibility, being independent, having morals and values, like a pretty holistic education, teamwork, and different things like that. Yeah. But you share something with me? There are a lot. I could imagine. There are a lot. Yeah. I'm on a different level. That's definitely one. Yes. Yeah. And we have a lot of Caribbean people living there, go to teach English. Yeah. In Japan now. Some like in the countryside and here especially. Yeah. Um, very well provided for. I think I was watching a video. This young lady, she's gone over there teaching as well. She's from America and she was showing how she was in her apartment or whatever, and then electricity went off, and then she shows that she has to go and take some card and put it in something like loading, I guess that's how you pay for the electricity, load for some, and then she comes back in the apartment and the electricity is back on, and then she show you how far she could get in terms of mileage driving her car and what she does for garbage disposal. It seemed really well organized. I like it. Never get out that much. Oh, okay. So what kind of work do you do? If you don't, you could just tell me in a general way. Yeah. What kind of work? Your work is a very demanding kind of job. You have to work long hours or so. And, you know, I feel like you still need some kind of interaction. But I understand, I know how it is. Sometimes when you're working and it can be very demanding, very consuming of your time, you know. But I always say it's good to have balance. So even if you find you're not able like to interact with others a lot, I hope that you could still find a way, like, you know, like when you come away from work, then you could do something for yourself to make sure you have that balance. Like one thing is, oh, you're here chatting. No, this is interaction as well. It could be like if you like to cook, making a nice meal for yourself. If you like to exercise, even if you exercise and do something at home, something, express yourself, do something though. Yeah, I like balance. You're jobless. I just do small things for okay. Okay, understand. Yeah. So then obviously it's kind of like a hustle thing, you know? You're constantly looking for things to do. Yeah. Hmm. But is it particular work you're looking for that you have a particular interest or not really? I pray that you will soon find work. Yeah. And that all your needs will be provided. I pray that God will make a way for you and that it will be a work, something that you will find rewarding, that will be fulfilling for you in terms of meeting your needs, all your basic needs, and also for your spirit. That you'll be able to work and do something that you will enjoy, you know, something that will refresh your spirit and provide for you, and you want to be anxious about like how you will make ends meet and that kind of thing. Yeah, I very much desire those things for you. I want you to just trust that it will all work out as well. That the right persons, God will place the right persons along your path to help you. Yeah. So you'll be able to make meaningful connections and also like in this period for you now to be able to safeguard your peace, right? Um, your mind. Yeah. Keep your mind, keep you in good spirits, keep you in perfect peace. Because I know it's not easy. I know. I know that it's not an easy place to be. But it's not like the final destination for you. I hope that you know that. All right, someone's telling me egg. I don't know. You're gonna eat eggs. It's kind of hard. I finished school last year, and you're turning 18 this. Oh, you're young. Yeah, yeah. You don't get discouraged. You don't be discouraged. Yeah. And the thing is, when you're young and looking for work, right? I don't know how it is over there, but you, I could share for myself. I remember when I finished school. My mother wasn't able to afford to send me straight to university. Although university education here is free, like from what we would call preschool right up to university in terms of a first degree. But still, there would be certain fees that you would have to pay. And furthermore, for the sake of our household, the situation that we were in, I would need to go out and get work to be able to contribute to the house. So I wasn't able, most of my friends then went on straight to university and I was home for a little while and I couldn't get work and I sent out so many letters. This was before the time when like computers were so widespread and you could just like, you know, send things. I think we had internet then, to be honest. And these were handwritten letters. So I think I actually went through the phone book, you know, and I was writing letters. I am applying for any available position. This is my CV, this is my qualifications. And it was probably, I don't want to tell a lie, I know it was more than 50 because I had all of them in an envelope. They're stuffed in my drawer. Everybody wrote back. We don't have anything for you right now, but we'll put your application on file. Some of them probably felt like, actually said, but you're kind of overqualified, you know? But all kind of places, I didn't discriminate. All kind of places just send letters, send letters. Eventually, I think I did. Someone reached out, and I went and had an interview at an insurance place, and then eventually, like a friend of the family or whatever had to try and help me then to get a job too. And then it just worked. So I went for a job like I worked for somebody that was like on leave, you know, you just substitute, come back home, do that, and then it worked out. That person, somebody went on sick leave and they never came back. It just really aligned itself. Then that's why. So this when I'm here and I'm talking about God's perfect time, and I don't just talk these things for so these are things that I've been through. But you can imagine how disheartening how it was for me Even sometimes people will be ridiculing me. I have it like a joke. Oh, that's yet another letter, A big bag, just bare letters, acknowledgement. When they come, the postman will be bringing like 6 and 7. Even before you open it, already you tell yourself it's just going to be another one, Nothing's happening. But I want you to stay focused and to be encouraged. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Hello, Ben. You're from London, UK. Hello. It's nice meeting you. How is the weather now? As I was sharing, I come to London from time to time, so I don't want it too cold and damp. And I come, your whole life was hard and you were bullied. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm really sorry, yeah. Somebody sent a lot of love here to Toji Fushiguro. I don't know, I'm probably calling your name wrong, but don't worry about it. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of love. Lots of love. Right, and I'm telling you, your latter days, when I say latter days, the days still to come in your life are going to be so much better. The whole thing started for you. Yeah, I'm very proud of you. That although you went through all of that there, you're still being positive. As you say, you're getting out there and you're looking for work and so on. Yeah. Things are going to get better for you. You just stay focused and try to keep up your spirits. And do what you can to still develop yourself. And develop yourself doesn't have to be like formal schooling, Taking time to get to know yourself and surround yourself with positive persons and so on. But your clan, okay. The weather is sunny, but yeah, you don't have to tell me. Sunny, that's just a mock sun. Yeah. Anyhow, everything for a time, it will soon be springtime. So how was your day? I'm trying to figure out what time it would be for you. No. It's late for you now or early, depending on how you look at it. Yeah. Yeah, how was your day? Tell me. Let me know. Mm-hmm. Let me know. The only thing I did was train. Okay. Hello, 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 Buanaha, Guziki. Yeah, I really have me tying my tongue, but hi to you. Blessings to you. I'm so glad you're here. I think that's my family at home now. If that's my family, I'm gonna run in my room. It's not, hooray. I guess they probably stopped somewhere. Maybe to buy my daughter something to eat or something, yeah. I love my family. I just enjoy having my space and my time to myself sometimes, yeah. Yeah. I'm asking you, Vin, how was your day? Is this from Barbie? You know the accent? You make me feel good. One person came on and asked me if I'm from South Detroit. All of them loving my accent. Then someone asked me if I'm from Scotland, and I share with the person that there's actually a strong connection between Scotland and Barbados. I sent them to go and research it, but I'm going to look it up too. I was trying to remember the name of the festival that I used to have here in Barbados. The Celtic Festival. It was driving me bananas to try to remember. The Celtic Festival. You will have it like you will have different choirs come and perform. You will have the men in their kilts and so on playing the bagpipe and going through town. I think probably you have like some drama too. You would have different events, yes. But I remember definitely you will have the choirs and they will perform at different places. Some outdoors too. I think they used to be on the boardwalk. The Celtic Festival, celebrating that connection between Scotland and Barbados. I'm so glad that you you picked up on the accent. You're from the Caribbean, so I don't think everyone with a Caribbean accent. Very good. Yeah, he had a guy came on and he was asking me if I don't have family from Trinidad. He got upset with me. I'm glad to hear that. Where is your family from? You could share if you care to. Yeah. If you want to, you could share and tell me where your family is from. It's so nice to get to know you. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Yeah, it's nice. Mm-hmm. You know what's happening? They're probably trying to stay out until they think that my lesson is over this evening. But the student didn't come today. That's just what it is. I give thanks. Yeah. I'm one of these people that's always giving. I don't know if any of you are like that too. I'm the one always giving, 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 giving. So many different directions. So you see, well, it's gone a lot better now. So you see, when I could just have a little time, man, I feel like I don't even play the lotto, but I feel like I want the lotto, yeah. I really like when I could come away, get that little time to myself. Could be like spa time, as I say, could be like nature time, beach time. Another thing I love to do, going to the beach. Mr. Londoner, don't be jealous, don't feel anyway, because I'm here showing off about my beach time. But yeah, I'm just sharing about myself. Oh, you love me, Amartly. That's lovely. Oh, you're from the Bahamas. I've been to the Bahamas, Freeport. In the Bahamas? Yeah. That was quite a few years. I must be overdue now to visit again. I would like to visit when it's time for your John Canoe. Right? Your festival, I think that's near around Christmas time, right? When I went, it was like a conference and they gave us a taste of it. You know, just the performing and all the big brass and so on and the dance. Y'all don't dance like most of the Caribbean, like how we rotate that waistline, you know, it's a bit different. It's a bit different with y'all in the Bahamas. And I love well, Bahama Mama, although I don't have a strong tolerance for alcohol, I really don't use much. And the fritters, conch fritters. So you see, I'm well versed in Bahamas, yeah. My husband, his family seems to be primarily from there, from Bahamas. The surname I married name, my surname is Taylor. Taylor. I think that's a pretty common name. It's not so common in Barbados, but it's a pretty common name in Bahamas. So I've told you everything. Hello, Seneca. Seneca who? Bradley. You love me? Well, I love you too. I'm sending a lot of love to you as well, Seneca Bradley. Thank you so much for saying hi. And how are you doing? I actually do not have a bikini. I do not. I do not. What you know about John Canoe? You're laughing at me, but that's why I tell you I would have to come and experience it. What I know about John Canoe, you're laughing at me. You're right to laugh. You know a lot of tailors, right? As I told you, it seems to be a common name out there. What is my favorite crime to commit? Well, Augusta, I don't think I ever commit any crime. What about you? Hmm? Yeah, I'm not a person like easily embarrassed, easily overwhelmed, easily distracted by these kind of things, you know. So no. I guess since you raised it, you might like to tell us. But mostly this is a positive space, right? So I don't know about these things. Yes, you know a lot of tailors, and I'm gonna get there and experience that John Canoe. Don't mind you laughing at me. But when I first visited Bahamas, one of the first things that struck me was like all the palm trees. You know, it gave me more that kind of feel like Florida or somewhere in the States. Yeah, than the Caribbean. But everyone really pleasant, very orderly. Even the hotel where we stay and the service, you know. Obviously, things are very expensive. Let's keep it real. But if you go and you check out something that somebody is selling and well, this is the price of everybody. But thanks for stopping by. They don't ever make you feel like they resent the fact that you come and you were browsing and then you didn't buy anything, you know? Even you have some t-shirts that said our cups like I bought this cup because it was all I could afford in Bahamas, something like that, because we know how it goes. There's something I was telling you. I told you about the trees. Oh, how the hotel I was at, how things were like very orderly. Even like they had some jet skis or wave runners, whatever, you know, that you use them on the water and so on. And they had them just lined up there on the beach. And like suppose I go and I want to ride, I would just go and I would talk to the person who has there at the front, and then they would just like the taxis overseas, you know, and they would just move out. You think that could happen in Barbados? In Barbados, it's very much a hustling kind of very competitive, you know, when it comes to that. Yeah, different culture. That part really blew my mind. Hi, Micah. That's a lovely name. Hi, Micah. I should be able to tell you, or you can tell me what your name means. That's a name that I like. You know about conch, but you know about cocoa and flying fish. We don't get much flying fish. You can still get some now though, but they're very expensive. They're kind of scarce. You don't get flying fish like once. And you like cocoa and flying fish? I'm not embarrassed. I probably should be. But to tell you that I have never stirred a pot of cocoa because I don't care for it. That's selfish of me, right? Yeah, I never learned how to stir cocoa. But I should do it so that suppose someone visits, I could stir a pot for them. I gonna do it. Suppose it take me 50 years on this beautiful earth in this beautiful country to learn how to stir a pot of cocoa. I'm gonna do it though. And even as I share, I like gardening. So you know what I'm gonna do? Because right now, I took a break from the okras, but I have tomato, cucumber, lettuce in front there. Now when I plant back my okras, I'm gonna wait until I reap my okras and use my own okras for the first pot of cocoa I'm gonna cook. Yeah, what else you like to eat? Have you ever had conkeys? Tell me if you ever had conkeys. You know these are things that pass down that come over from West Africa. So cocoa, they have it in Antigua. They call it fungi, Funge, or is it Ge or Gi? But fungi or fungi in Antigua, and I think in another Caribbean island too. And then another thing we have is conkeys. I don't know if you have something similar to conkeys. In Trinidad and Tobago, they have pastels, might be kind of similar. In Dominica, they have Duciano. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But you know, tell me if you ever had conkeys, then I'll tell you what's in the conkeys. We both know about sauce. You like sauce? I was telling my daughter, she was asking me what makes the sauce, and I started telling her the different parts of the pig that it come from. Yeah. But that's something as much as people like to skin out their face. The whole thing is that as Caribbean people, you know, we come from strong people because obviously those are things that were discarded back from the slavery times. That's what the master will be giving you the leftovers of the pig, the head and the ears and all these different things, you know. And you take it and you use something, you make something, and then like the belly from the animals and yeah. Mm-hmm. Very, very innovative people. Pepper pot. You got a pepper mold. Pepper pot. Yeah, pepper pot. You're more getting but Grenada's oil down. Which country will do pepper pot then? You do pepper pot in Trinidad. Where they do pepper pot? I think I've had pepper pot. Dominica. I think they do pepper pot in Dominica. Yeah, I think so. Somebody could tell me if I'm right. Grenada's oil down. Yeah. But the conkeys, I like them too. Sweet potato, pumpkin, coconut, your raisins, your cornmeal, obviously your sugar and different things. And you do that all together. You grate them and you mix it all together. Then you get your banana leaves. You can either steam them. I think some people may actually put them in the pot of hot water and steam them, or you can singe them like the stove, but you're not burning it, you know, you're just putting it over there like to make it pliable. And then you put the mixture in them and you put it in the pot to steam. Really, really delicious, yeah. So that's something that has come over from West Africa, as I said. You get it all through the Caribbean, but just with different names, right? Really delicious. We mostly made that in November for our Independence time. Barbados Independence Day is November 30th, but like for the whole month, you have different activities. You can make it at any time of the year, but traditionally, we make a lot of our national things at Independence time. It's made from, right, man, you really know the things, just what I said, cornmeal and pumpkin and sweet potato and coconut, yes. If I like rum cake, I love me a great cake, boy. Yeah. I love me a great cake. You know, some people like you mix up. When we say great cake, for those who might not know, this is like a fruit cake. You mix it up and like you can put it down. Like suppose if you want to bake it for Christmas, like all from the early October or so, you can mix up your fruits. Then like when you open that up, you get drunk from that, right? Yeah, you mix up your fruits and you have your alcohol and so on. Great cake. That's nice too. Mm-hmm. You really got a lot of nice things. A lot of nice things to eat, man. Mm-hmm. You're really well versed in your Bajan cuisine. So have you actually been to Barbados and been like to Oysters on a Friday night? That's where you go on Friday nights and get your fish and your different things. Yeah. Part of the whole atmosphere. Yeah. I also like pot fish. Don't ask me to call all the different names, but pot fish. Some people, if they don't understand, someone's pot fish, all fish cooked in a pot, but it's pot in terms of how they catch the fish, like in a cage, like a wired cage, like that's the best way you can describe it. And you put it out, and when the fish come in, it's like a pot. So it's like reef fish then, mostly fish from all the reef. Yeah, those fish are nice too. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna stay maybe like another 5. How long I've been on here now? Another 5 minutes or so. No, you had a girlfriend from Barbados and Trinidad. Oh, so maybe like she will be cooking these things. That's really nice. Yeah, yeah. Introduce you and get some of that island flavor. That's really nice. That's nice. Yeah. We have more things in common than differences in different islands. Yeah, we got a lot of things in common, man. I like it. I really like it. I like the pepper sauce and the fish cakes and the seasoning, the good up food. Yeah, that's really nice. Mm-hmm. I can give you all a few more minutes of my time. Just come home and I come straight here. I gotta go have me a nice shower. I gotta call and chat with my mom. I gotta go get my tea. That's another thing too. Boris, we talk about tea. Anything hot is called tea. Could be bush tea. You know about bush tea? Could be bush tea. For bush tea now, some of the things I use, I love bay leaf tea. I like lemongrass. I have a pomegranate tree. Sometimes I use the leaves from my pomegranate. I make pomegranate tree. My neighbor has a mango tree. You can make mango tea. Guava. All these things very good for you. But for me, I use them in moderation because they tend to be good, like to regulate your sugar, regulate if you have hypertension, that kind of thing. I don't have any of these chronic problems. So then if I use them, it will be carrying me down too low. You understand? So I use them now and then. Yeah. It was great speaking to you too. You subscribe. Very nice. So I look forward to chatting with you again. It was really nice. You know about bush tea. Look at you. You know the good up things. You know the good up things for your body. That's good. Those things strengthen you. And they do well to cleanse your body to keep your balance. Yeah. So don't let me keep you. You go on. You have a pleasant evening. And I'm sure we'll chat again another time. All right? Yeah, I'm going to try to be consistent with this chatting. Yeah. See, you know about bush tea. I really enjoyed the conversation. Imagine how I just came on and they said I'm going to come to talk about like the importance of having grace, showing grace for each other. And I didn't know I would come here and end up like having conversation. I know how life works, but I didn't know that I would come here and end up having conversation and like, you know, it's kind of mind blowing. Like chatting with people from so many different backgrounds and so many different places and getting to know them and just bringing home the whole point. Like each person at a different stage of your journey. I had a young person there just not saying they're from Japan and not finished school and looking for work and different things like that. They have more mature persons there, like asking me a lot of questions. When he was finished, he said he enjoyed interviewing me, asking me a lot of questions. Like, was a famous person would like to me if I could go back in history, how it would change my life, what inspires me, these different kind of things. So you know that some level of maturity there in terms of those questions, you know. And they get to meet different people from different backgrounds, as I said. Somebody from Scotland, somebody up there in London with the sun shining, but the place still cold. Somebody from Bahamas. It's really been a blessing. Yeah. And how beautiful it is that we could come and like get to know, learn things about each other in spite of our differences. And be able to inspire each other and encourage each other too. As I said, I live quite openly and I'm a person I share a lot. Everyone doesn't have to be like that, but even without sharing a lot from yourself personally, we could like appreciate the humanity in each other and encourage each other. That's the beautiful thing about it. Yeah. As some came on and asked me if I know about Jesus and telling me, make sure I stay close to him and so on. And that's definitely a blessing as well. Yeah. Well, enough one of the things I felt led to do. Somehow from the beginning of the year, although I was telling myself I don't so much like go crazy over the new year. I see the new year as like just a continuation. Yeah, I would tell myself certain things I would like to accomplish, but I'm more focused like I want to continue putting one foot firmly in front of the other. But from the year that the year started, I said I want to be more like intentional and specific about things I'm praying about. And I said Barbados recently had an election and how things were going. An election. I'm not too involved in politics, but you know how election goes and so on. I said I'm gonna kind of take my eyes off of that and look at what I as a person could do. Like be kind of civic minded, to improve things. So I said one of the things that I could do is be more intentional in my praying as I feel led to. And like the first day I felt like pray for persons who are grieving. And I said in my own, I gotta be careful I don't run past the time. Not that there's a limit on the time, but you have been here for a while now. I said each point that I choose, I will look at it in terms of my household, my immediate environment, then my neighborhood, and then like nationally or at work and so on. So when I did grief, and I said grief is more than just um mourning over someone who has died. Grief could be like you miss out on an opportunity or things didn't go as you hoped they would. So like I have my daughter, putting it in terms of my own home. She was working towards going to study, as she was going to study overseas. She got accepted and everything, but then due to circumstances like immigration, so I will leave it at that. It didn't quite work out. So then she has moved on to another direction now in terms of studying something locally here. And she's so surrounded, like it's like she has just found her tribe and she has just fit in so perfectly. And she really doesn't even study and worry about where she was trying to get, in terms of going away and so on, because she says, well, there's more than one path to get where she wants to get then. But I myself, as a mother, I was so invested in this, whether it is financially in terms of trying to help her, going out there being an advocate for her, trying my best. I found that it was really like you were grieving for this thing. Then in my immediate neighborhood, you have persons who have experienced loss of loved ones. You have persons who maybe that you're really longing for that relationship, that connection with another person, and it's not happening. Maybe you might have someone who's trying to have a child, it's not happening. So we get grief in different ways. Then another way I felt led to pray was my memory is so bad now. The grief was a big one. I'm being embarrassed. No, it's not coming to me. 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 I'd have to get my book and look. Jessie girl, you look dehydrated or are you getting old? You look dehydrated, girl. It's alright, as I say. One I put is persons who have suffered an injustice. Right? An injustice doesn't have to be something on a big scale. It could be like something happened to you at school, somebody unfair, you are treated you unfairly at school. Something that in terms of a job, maybe you apply for a job or you are at work and you thought that you would get a promotion and you know somebody pushed their family member in there or like someone who was less qualified. Something like that, different little things like that. Injustice. Even in terms of the same neighborhoods, unless we don't be as neighborly as as we would like, you know, that is also injustice. It doesn't have to be on a big scale, as I say. Oh, another big one. I'm going to put that as the last one. There were quite a few. But I said persons affected by dementia. Something that's really wide scale, more than we may think, right? And you know, easily so I was able like to identify persons in the neighborhood. About 3 or 4 of my friends, when they say affected by dementia, not that these persons have it themselves, but they're the caregivers. And you know, that's one thing that when you have to take care of someone with that, you as a caregiver, usually, you get affected more in your health than the person with the dementia. So I thought about one individual, a beautiful person. Um, her husband has it. And when I visited her, but she said obviously in adjusting and so on, she said, you know what, immediately after, when she realized the diagnosis and things changed, it seemed to change pretty suddenly. Her blood pressure went up. And then, you know, eventually she had to like regulate and kind of accept it now. But she said she's gone back to the stage. Although she's able to have help, like nursing, assistant, and so on, there like 24/7, one shift and then another shift. She doesn't sleep strong anymore. She sleeps as if she has a newborn babe because you're always worried, you know, suppose something happens, he gets up or whatever. And in talking about him, she said he really was a good husband and a good father. And I was so struck. I said, well, my God, already she's speaking like in the past tense. Because that person is no longer there. It's a different person. Physically, that person is there, but mentally, right? It's like a different person you're dealing with. Yeah, that's one person. But that person is like mature. No, she's maybe in like her 60s or 70s. Then I have a friend that he's in that same age range and he's seeing after his wife. And I would make a point like we would go ever so often and have coffee and he would be like, this is my only little escape just to be able to come and sit down at this time, just chat. Like he will offload. And then inevitably I would have to have something in my life I could offload about too. And in the midst of the offloading, we will find laughter. And in that laughter will be such a release, you know, for him. He would share the frustrations, you know. He said like sometimes then she would say, well, she's ready to eat. He would go there and cook and so on. And then as soon as he brings the food, she's not hungry anymore. She doesn't want it, you know. Then I have a friend now like my own, we're the same age. Her birthday is the day before mine. A beautiful, beautiful person from the inside out. And her mother has had it for years. And her whole life just revolves once again, although she has professional help there available, her whole life, like most of her free time, revolves around being there for mom and being there for dad and so on. Yeah. So That was my approach, praying with intention about different things, and also looking to see like small, different little things I can do for certain areas in my country, rather than focus on let it be all about what certain people are doing and politics and so on. So, for example, if I say, well, I'm going to pray about education, I'm going to look at education, what can I do? So, how I said that not only have I been teaching children, but recently I started teaching a young adult. Yeah, a beautiful, and I feel like it's so revolutionary, both for her, for realizing that she needs to take that step, and for myself, you know, because I never would have envisioned that I would be doing that. I never saw myself as patient, although I have a very childlike spirit and I love children and so on. It's not really something that it's something I came into quite accidentally, but yet when I came into it, I knew like it's something I'm supposed to be doing. But dealing with her as an adult, no. I didn't see myself doing that, but she approached me and I knew I was supposed to say yes. And now I know it's something that I'm supposed to continue to do, not only to help persons, but to empower them to be able to like help their own children and work with them, you know? And for sure, it's something like when you see a person improve in that aspect, you're going to see their stature change. You're going to see like the way they make eye contact change. You're going to see like a lot of different changes. Even their comprehension. I'm not talking about like reading a passage now and answering questions. I'm talking about how they handle themselves in different situations, how they handle conflict. Yeah, different things like that. Suppose I'm dealing with health now. What can I do to help myself, my family, and those around me? You know, education. As I said, I have a holistic approach. I understand a bit about natural healing, certain things I understand. I could share my knowledge. I could share my produce from things that I grow. I could do my own thing in terms of healing. The only things I have a vision about. I could do hair, like do not necessarily lots, but like twisting and dealing with natural hair a certain way. I see myself doing that. I have a vision. I see myself doing that and giving people like head massages because we carry a lot of our tension. I will know this in our head, on our necks, right? And doing like detox through the feet. So a lot of different things, yeah. Anyhow, I think I'm gonna leave you. I don't know if you're getting bored with me now. The one person that's watching, thank you so much for staying. Maybe you stayed for the long time, or maybe you just came on. I've been on here now, look, 1 hour and 47 minutes. This is the longest I've ever done. Yeah, but you've all made it very easy for me. As you said, I can be very chatty and very sheery when I'm ready. But at the same time, I'm also a person that I appreciate very much the silence. And I love when I connect with people. This is a beautiful thing. But I'm a real romantic, a real heart on my sleeve, a real love on you kind of person. As I always say, to be loved by Auntie Jessica is to be well loved. I bet Auntie Jessica realized that she had enough of you. Whatever kind of relationship. And that's it, man. That's it too. Pure Scorpio, pure whatever. Right? But what was I saying now? You made me get distracted. I was talking about being loving. Oh, I was saying, yes, I can be very chatty, but it's a beautiful thing when you could find someone and know that you can be comfortable with that person in the silence, right? If it's like you're actually like just sitting with someone and like looking at them, looking at each other, just in the silence, like no word said, but everything is understood. It's a beautiful thing. Not just a romantic kind of interaction either, right? It could be a friendship, any person you're holding space, but it might be like a bit awkward, right? But like with the right person, it's a really, really beautiful, tender thing. Or you can even just be sitting side by side, especially if you have a friend or someone and like, you know, as an artist, sometimes you feel a bit burdened. Sometimes you don't feel like you really want to like talk and I don't really want to explain and go through it. Or furthermore, I don't really need for you to give me advice. I just need to feel that solid presence there next to me. Once again, in the silence. Nothing is said, but everything is felt. Now I'm talking this way. I think I might come and share some poetry next time I come. Everything is felt. Everything is understood. And sometimes you can go and you can have your quiet time, once again, in the silence by yourself. Just you and nature, just you and God. Once again, nothing is said, but yet everything is said, everything is understood, right? Everything is felt, everything is perfect, even in the imperfection and all the different challenges and so on. Everything is still perfect in that perfect peace, and everything is understood. So I think that's a great note on which to leave you. Does anybody want to say bye-bye or send me some love? I'm sending you a lot. I'm sending you a lot. I can't think of a song or like a passage. Yeah, I came on a couple of times and I read Bible and so on. I don't feel like to do it today. I don't force things, but yeah. I'll be praying for you and sending you all of my positivity, all the love and the blessings. I just feel people just need to feel seen, you know, and valued, and most importantly, to know that they're not alone. Yeah, and understood and appreciated. And remember what I told you was my theme for today. Show people grace. All right. Be patient with each other. And perhaps more importantly, be patient with yourself. Learn to give yourself grace too. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to be imperfect. You're allowed to get it wrong. You're allowed to make an eraser. Are you allowed to cross through? You're allowed to rewrite your story. You are allowed. Someone that was here with me chatting this evening asked was like some of the best advice you could give to a young person. First, I started off with the usual thing, don't give up, keep going, and so on. And then I paused and I said to me, one of the most important things, like be true to yourself, come to understand yourself, get to know yourself, and have the courage to give up. It sounds strange, but have the courage to realize when something is not working out for you. You need to deviate, change your path, go with someone else, go with a different option or something. That takes a lot of courage to give up. I don't understand Portuguese. I'm very Linda. That's Spanish. Muy gracias. Linda means pretty. Yeah. Take off your glasses. If you let me take off my. You want me to take off my glasses? Oh, I have a mark there for my glasses. Yeah, and I have a beautiful smile. And you know what? I have a beautiful light that shines from the inside and shines out. I'm gonna have to put back on my glasses so I can see what you're telling me. But thank you so much for coming on and telling me that I'm muy linda, muy linda, muy linda, muy linda. Muchas gracias. Yeah, me gusta mucho conocerte. You're going to go and take a bath, okay? You enjoy your bath. All right, I hope that is nice and refreshing to your body and refreshing to your spirit. I love me a good bath too. Yeah. I love me a good sea bath. And we have sometimes you can go like to freshwater springs. Yeah, natural water from a spring water. Just like how we buy the bottled water and it's spring water that you can actually go and like, it's a very cleansing thing to do, a very rejuvenating thing. It gives you a different feel from going to take a sea bath. It's a beautiful thing. These people like, they don't want me to leave tonight. Hello, Joseph Edwards. How are you? It's so nice to meet you. So nice to be able to say hi to you. I'm so glad you are here. Yeah. Imagine how beautiful. I can imagine you look very beautiful. So you enjoy your bath and you have a blessed night. Okay? Thanks so much for saying hi to me. Portuguese, it says. Yeah. That's what we speak in Brazil, right? Yeah, I've never been to Brazil. So I was leaving on the note of it's very, I don't want to have a lovely video call. I'm going to leave you to go and enjoy your bath. Okay, I told you. Go and have a blessed night and enjoy your bath. I'm going to go and take my own bath with my beautiful self. All right? I'm going to have me something lovely and nourishing to eat. I'm probably gonna call my mom and chat with her. Maybe I'll watch the news. I take a break from the news sometimes, especially when it gets kind of heavy and depressing. A great thing to do to safeguard your mental health. I highly recommend it. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Hi. Is it S10473? It's nice meeting you. Yeah. It's a pleasure meeting you. I don't understand. Oh, another. Okay. It's all right. You just go and have a good night. I'm sorry. Next time I probably will have to type for you. Yeah. All right. But you feeling kind of frisky there, yeah. It's all right. You enjoy your bath for your frisky self. Yeah. And I'm done with you and that. All right. Good. So, for the last time, I'm leaving you and I'm saying, remember that our theme for the day and into the night is having grace, showing grace to others, being patient with them, understanding that you clean them, okay. Yeah, sure, you can follow me. Everyone is welcome to follow me, right? As I say, normally come on. I try to do this on Tuesdays, sometimes Thursdays, but for sure Tuesdays will be one of the days. Yeah. Be patient with others, be patient with yourself, right? I'm going to say you are so beautiful. Since you keep telling me how beautiful I am, let me send that same positivity back to you. All right. And you don't have to be here chatting with me. As I said, I'm a very down-to-earth person, not very easily disturbed, embarrassed, distracted. I keep it real. Okay? So you don't have to be sending me the energy and the different things about seeing you in your bath and different things about that. Let me let you know that you also are beautiful. Let me sing to you. I won't bother to beat the drums. You are so beautiful to me. Let me take off my glasses. I don't mind. To me, you are so beautiful. To me, can't you see? I want you to see your beauty for yourself. You're everything I long for. Oh gosh, I got off a tune. You're everything I hope for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. All right, and that is for all of you. All of you, ALL. All of you have taken the time to be here. Thanks, family. You just subscribed. Thank you very much from Cold Canada. Where in these people won't let me leave tonight at all. Where in Canada are you? I have family, but you know that the whole of Barbados must be in Canada. I think I actually have more family in Barbados, in Canada than Barbados now. I have family in Brampton, some in Toronto, and then I have some, that's mostly from my mom's side. Then I have some in Montreal from my father's side. Yeah. Ontario, yeah. My brother is actually in Ontario, I believe. I have a lot of family, a lot of cousins up there. Hello from France. Bonjour. I don't speak French well. I need to work on my French. Even to visit, like we have French islands here in the Caribbean, Martinique and Guadeloupe. I want to visit. Look, very beautiful, like nature places and very rootsy. Very much with like new reggae and what's the right way? I don't know what's the right word, but they have a good understanding of themselves as Black people, you know? very good understanding of themselves. And I guess it's that French thing too. They don't seem to put up with a lot of foolishness. They're very quick to speak out. Yeah, yeah. And I like when they have like their carnival, it's not just like the usual skimpy kind of things, but that has its place. It's not my thing, but that has its place. But very lovely in their costumes and so on. Very strong culture. Yeah, that's still not the word, but very strong culture. There are people who know who they are. Yeah, so that's one of the things I want to do. Visit somehow I'm saying more so Guadeloupe. I just like the beauty of it. Yeah, but I've never been to France either. You're originally from Jamaica. You used to live in Scarborough. That's where my brother and his family used to be in Scarborough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My nephew, he's a top coach, there in connecting. Oh boy, like I actually was too long. I had to reconnect. He's a top coach out there. His name, he's called Small. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very talented. Must be very cool. Barbados is beautiful. And drink some Martinique rum. Okay, we'll do that. I will certainly do that. No problem. No problem. It's been nice meeting all of you. I've been on here for over 2 hours now, so I really have to go. My family just got home outside. But thanks so much for keeping my company. Yeah, it's been a privilege. It's really been an honor meeting all of you. And you can feel free, if you want to subscribe, you can. I don't force people like and subscribe and share. I don't force anything in my life, but for sure, you can come back anytime. Gorgeous African ladies. Okay, nice meeting you. Yeah, meet more people from the Caribbean. Certainly, very friendly people. Right, very colorful, full of life and colorful. All right. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye to everybody. Be well. Remember, love yourself and love others. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Jessica. That's me, Joseph Goldstein. All right. Bye bye, everybody. Bye.